keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students.
Hello, my dear students. Today we are here to do English Balbharati Unit 1, Lesson number 2, Aesop's Fables. In this particular lesson, we have two different stories. Okay, so story number 1 is the stag at the pool, and story number 2 is the dog in the manger. These two stories will cover your textbook page number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let us begin with the story number 1, that is the stag at the pool. Who is Aesop? Aesop lived hundreds of years ago in a country called Greece. Aesop is a world famous storyteller. It is believed that many of the fables were first told by a wise person called Aesop. His stories became so popular that people passed them from one generation to another generation. Okay, you all can see an image which is displayed on the screen. It is of Aesop. Okay, so today we are going to see story which is written by Aesop. Okay, now tell me, whenever we go to library in the library period, so what do? Either we see stories on the screen or we read storybooks. Okay, so those storybooks are actually fable. Okay, so fables are short stories, and in the end of every story there is a moral or message for us, something to learn and keep in mind as we grow up. So, in the end of every story, there is some learning, meaningful learning. Okay, most of the fables you must have seen have animal characters, correct? You all can see on the screen also. Whenever you read any storybook or any fable, there are animal characters who think and act just like human beings. So here we go. The stag at the pool. One day, a beautiful stag came to a pool of clear water. He, as he bent down to drink, he saw his own reflection in the water. Stag means a male deer, and reflection means the image of something in a mirror or water. He was delighted with what he saw. Delighted means feeling or showing great pleasure or happiness. Instead of drinking water, he kept looking at his own reflection. How handsome I look, he said to himself. How beautiful are these curving antlers. Antlers means horns that grow on the head of a male deer, that is a stag. You all can see in the image. How they add to my beauty. How graceful they look. Then he moved nearer and saw his legs reflected in the pool. He was quite disgusted. Disgusted means feeling a strong dislike. Look at my legs. Ooh, they are so ugly. All spindly with a small feet. Spindly means very long and thin. All spindly with a small feet. How I wish that nature had given me legs worthy of my stately antlers. Stately means grand. As he was brooding in this way, the stag heard an arrow going swish across the pool. Brooding means thinking sadly for a long time. Swish means to move quickly through the air, making a soft rushing sound. At the same time, he picked up the scent of hunters. With a quick turn, he bounded away. Bounded away means to run with long steps. His legs carried him swiftly into the forest. Swiftly means quickly. The hunters were hot on his trail. Hot on his trail means very close to him, almost about to catch him. But they were no match for his speed. Soon the stag left the hunters far behind. Safe and out of the hunter's reach, the stag slowed down. Suddenly, without realizing, without realizing it, he walked into a thicket. Thicket means a large group of trees, bushes, etc., growing close together. There were trees with strong branches growing close together, and alas, the same antlers of which he was so proud got caught in the thick growth. The stag tried to shake himself free, but the more he struggled, the more entangled his antlers got in the branches. Entangled means got caught in something. Once again, the stag could hear the hunters drawing close. Drawing close means coming nearer, and grew afraid. At last, with great difficulty, he managed to free his antlers and bounded away. I realize now that my ugly feet saved my life. I was so proud of these handsome antlers, but they would have been the cause of my death. Very often, we dislike the very things that are most beautiful to us. So, what is the moral of the story? Moral of the story is utility is important than beauty.